Hello again, YouTube, fellow mystery hunters. Today we're here in the famous Zancudo UFO, right? I want to take a different approach to this and explain why I think this is the actual way of doing this. And as we are here, we all know that this UFO says segregate and rearrange right on the front, alright? A thing I've noticed about this UFO is that right on the bottom you can see that thing moving around, and it got different like cameras and zoom or whatever, right? You got like different sizes, right? I'm gonna point out why I think this is very interesting right on the bottom of the UFO, right? So this UFO right on top of the pilot's windshields, it says segregate and rearrange, and I noticed something quite particular in the beginning and in the end of that sentence. But here we have, it's quite difficult with the wind and all of that moving around, but as you can see, it's moving around looking, right? This UFO is really strange, and it just, thinking about it, it just hit me, alright? And further along, I'm gonna be showing you the real segregation and rearrangement method that I believe this UFO is pointing out to, right? And right up here, slow-moing this, as you can see, it has circles on the beginning and the end of that sentence: tiny, small, medium, and large, and at the end, large. All right, the small circles could be indicating sorry, different zooms, right? Like different from this height, like different zooms out, and there is a mission in the brand new CEO's the import and export, that when you're with a buddy and you're trying to get a car, you get a helicopter with a police chopper, and you gotta identify which car you need to take. Alright, so what I'm trying to point out here, you're gonna see it right now. As you can see, that building, it forms an X. The triangle with the red square, it forms a T. There's letters hitting across the city, alright? And they're in different shapes and different forms. Even in the streets you can find these letters. But most of the buildings, from bird's eye view, they're hiding letters. And I'm like, holy shit, there's the famous star with this weird geometric shape on it. I put a video up on that with the sacred geometry theory, alright? And this is something else, this is something new. As you can see right over there on top, there's a nail that stands out clearly. That's a nail, alright? So we have T, X, L. We have two H's right over there, and they stand out. And you can see this comes in different shapes and different sizes. So this is what the circles means: tiny, small, medium, and large. These things are in different forms, shapes, and there's a lot of stuff that you can point out from the top, looking at a bird's eye view. So the best way to come out of this is right at high noon. As you can see, we have an E right there. That's clearly an E. There's no mistaking it. And I'm like, holy fucking shit, dude. How can you miss something like this? And the UFO in Zancudo stands it out. As you can see, the hospital, it forms another H, but right here, slow-moing, there you can see on top of the building, there's a C, and then it changes, because the textures, depending upon which distance you are, they play tricks on you. So there's stuff even hiding at different heights, at different angles. So I took a helicopter with my buddy Hammer. We always arguing and pointing this out and why this, why that, alright? We always like try to bring stuff out, and as you can see, you have an O right over there at your left. I mean, this is something that, how can people overlook this? Like, I mean, like, I don't understand that. Okay, there's missing letters in some of the famous buildings, and in Foxy's there's an O missing, and on the Beacon I think there's a T missing, but right here you have a 0 on top of that roof. That's clearly a 0. And then you have right on top of that an equal. That's an equal sign right there, man. I'm like, what the? Dude, people have to approach this mystery from a different angle, from a different perspective, from a different view. It's right here on the freaking map. Coming over here, there's a C. And then the other building over there, and right in front of that C, right out there on the bottom below the blades, right in front of the chopper, there's what it appears to be a D, but inverted to the other side. I mean, these letters can be hidden in any form, in any shape. And as you can see right there in the cemetery, it forms a heart with the lines. And when you go, there's a billboard that has this muscle sign about working out and all that. Muscle, something like that, pump up. All right, and there's a lot of hearts across. Things points to a lot of hearts. All right, inside of the morgue, there's this drawing of a heart as well. All right, but this approach from segregate and rearrange, all of this stuff is hidden from a bird's eye view in the map. All right, there you can see that forms. It's an 8. All right, right there on the bottom, you can see that there was an 8. We have that swirl over there with the circle in the park, which is about the golden proportion, sacred geometry I've been talking about. This building right below the blades forms a C. There's another E on top of that, right across the police station in Vinewood Boulevard. That's another E. Okay, there's something clearly, man, this segregate and rearrange approach, I believe this is it. All right, another thing I noticed, this 17 right here, I looked across all helipads and they all have the H for the helicopter, right? But these two buildings in specific, Mazebank Tower 17 and the that one over there with the 11, that's the has this big A in front of it. All right, I mean, and this is pointing, I don't know if it's me, but as I can see, this is straightly aligned right to the north, as you can see on the mini map. Right, boom, there you go. That one, I went over there, and as well, it's pointing out smack dab to the north. There's clearly a lot of stuff that can be seen from the skies, and this whole new perspective upon which how to view things and how to look at things. The Sandy Shores secret message I found. All right, here we're back at the O again, because right next to this, at night, it becomes a whole nother ball game. The lights point out to certain different places. All right, see that geometry shape over there right behind that building? I mean, man, look at that geometric shape. And then right here at the bottom of the helicopter, that red U. But if you look at it closer, it forms like another, like a digital clock type of thing. as a 0, all right? That's right next to the Ring of Fire restaurant, which has another weird symbol on top of the roof. It forms another shape. And then that building in specific right there has this tombstones with horns on it and a skull, all right? And it's called the crazy cow in Spanish, la vaca loca, all right? The crazy cow can lead out to something, all right? This ominous shape right here, this is what it looks like, a jetpack, but this is something else in totality, and you're gonna see why. I found this out when I was looking above Sandy Shores in the abandoned hotel. You can see that same shape within the pool from a bird's eye view, right? Another strange thing, look at the lights going around. Here we have the same thing from a different altitude, but over here at the Maze Bank, as you can see, the row of lights that go on the side of it are green. Why is that? When you go along all that road, there is a bunch of graffiti all across those walls. A lot of graffiti pointing out to things, all right? And most of the graffitis say code. If you go online and look at Benny's, all of the graffitis, they say code, they mean something. Low life, the skull with the pressure gauge on his forehead, a bridge over here with different lighting, all right? I mean, this is clearly pointing out to something, and as I keep digging out and looking at all these things, it's gonna, I know it's gonna pop out onto something, right? But this is just it. People been overlooking all of this stuff. Okay, here's another one I want to point out. From the bottom of the bridge all the way across it, right down into the intersection right there, all those greens are lights. All those lights are green, all right? Bunch of graffiti can be found all over that, under the bridge, everywhere. And under that highway intersection, there's a bunch of graffiti over there pointing out to stuff. Now this is really strange. The cherry, as you can see, the top of it, lights are green. Then on the side, all the lines, the other lights are green as well. And this is clearly pointing out to something. This is clearly, as you can see, it forms like an arrow straight up, okay? And dude, I don't know, like this is a whole nother ball game. This is something that people been overlooking. This is something that we have to come back and do this slowly and calmly, all right? And right over here, why are these lights yellow? They stand out upon they stand out of everything. The blue light the bridges with the blue light, that is clearly something else as well, all right? And then we have this L shape in lights, and they're bright light, and they point straight up north. There's different variations of light, but why is specifically these lights that I'm pointing out stand out? These yellow lights have something really particular on them that I managed to cut, and that's that 6 right there hitting in the lights. You saw that? That's clearly a 6 right there. Saw a video on this that apparently the parking lot forms to what it seems to be a jetpack, which is not. I don't think it's a jetpack. And the shape of the building forms a UFO. I'm like, all right. There's clearly a lot of stuff going on here, and the particular shape that I was pointing out in the city, which I saw in Sandy Shores, now you're going to see where it leads up 2, and that is the power plant. From the bird's eye view, there we have the same shape as those of the apparent jetpack in the city. Alright, right next to the hand, look at this. This is clearly something that can't be missed. As always, keep on hunting. There's something big out there.